All right, welcome everybody to this Friday's community live stream. I have Star here with me, and we're going to be talking a lot about the news of the week and some special things that have been happening. A really busy week, especially leading up to next week's new release. Oh my God, it's like already coming up.
Yeah,
We've got like with the holiday season here, and the spooky ghouly decorations that we decorated our office with here, and then moving fast and furious to fall Festivus kind of end of the year, and a bunch of other stuff that's happening here, not to mention in the game, of course. So what do we got here? Well, myself, Barrick, as you guys know me, community manager. I always forget to introduce myself. And I look back at the comments on YouTube a week later, and they're like, "Who's that guy?" Well, not really.
And I'm Starlong. I'm the executive producer on the project, also known as Dark Star.
All right, so a couple of things, prizes. You guys always want to know those up front, so I thought I'd mention them right away. We're gonna go with a theme like last time, where we have, and during the last week's telethon as well, we gave away some of these. The ornate prison cage, the Viking merchant outfit. We didn't give away that on the last Friday live stream, so I thought I'd change that up a little bit. You can give, outfits anybody can wear, so give away a few of those. Day of the Dead mask 6-pack. Those are really cool. And the 2017 Spooky Decoration Repack. Now, this repack is only available for those who tweet. So if you have a Twitter account, you can hashtag LBSOTA or @ShroudOfAvatar during this live stream. Say, yay, I love the live stream, or comment about something that you learned during the live stream, because after our little news 10 minutes here, we're going to have Hutch come on and show you the Oracle Chamber, which, spoiler alert, big spoiler alert, right? I mean, this is like
major. It's like the end of the game, so you might want to turn off the live stream if you don't want to get spoiled at the end of the game. But if you don't mind being spoiled, it's like one of the coolest things we've ever done. It's like so beautiful and amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, like a lot of people worked on it, but Touch will tell you more about that. So a couple of really important community events are happening this weekend. We have Think Pink's Shooter Jennings meet and greet tomorrow. Now, this is part of a 24-hour stream-a-thon that the Airy Fund is putting on this weekend. So check it out in either, you can go to the community events calendar on the main website under the community tab. You can look at the weekly update number 250. I like that number. It's a nice round number. We just put it out on the website. You can check out details there. And you can go into the forums under the community events release 46 for the current release. And they have not only the streamathon for this weekend, but more details on other events coming up, like the Extra Life schedule. And
it's a real quick before we talk about the Extra Life. So the event this Saturday. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so the purpose of the stream on Saturday is breast cancer awareness. And so just so you guys know, Shooter Jennings, his wife went through breast cancer, and so it's very important cause for him. Many of us have been affected by it as well. Almost everyone we know has had a family member affected by that. Shooter as well. So Shooter, some of you might not know, he actually contributed a lot of content to our Make a Difference store for our section about breast cancer. So the digital copies in game, the wax cylinders of his album Countach, the album cover art, the Countach pink dye, all of that stuff was Shooter Jennings, and he did an album release party in the game. We did events around that, and that's the kinds of stuff he's going to be giving away on Saturday. And so he's an amazing guy. Has given a lot to our community. We really, really appreciate Shooter.
Yeah, he's really awesome. So you get a chance to meet him in the game. So we'll be in there and hanging out with everybody this weekend. What was I?
And then your Extra Life.
Extra Life, right? Yeah. So extra cool. Extra Life is something that we participate in every year, and we got the chance to do that a little bit last year, but this year is going to be bigger and better than ever. We're going to have the community actually leading this. Airy Fund's it's coordinating a bunch of live streamers in the community. So if you're a live streamer and you want to stream for an hour, check the schedule. It's on the forums. Ask any of the Airy Fund helpers, anybody in the community will be able to point you to where this schedule is. It's also linked once again in our weekly update. And there's a few spots left open, so there's plenty of opportunities to get involved yet, whether it's your own live stream, or as we're probably going to be doing yet, we'll be finishing up the organization for this, showing up on some of your live streams while you're streaming during Extra Life. Extra Life is November 4th, which interestingly is a day immediately after our next telethon.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a ton of energy for that. And in support of the Extra Life Streamathon, we are adding a bunch of content to our Make a Difference store that is hospital, doctor themed. That's going to be, so we're at like a doctor's outfit and a nurse's outfit, an operating table, a surgical tray, an IV bottle, a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be going in release 47. That's going live next week, and that's going to it's going to go in the family and children's section of our Make a Difference store. So look for that content, and the 50% of the proceeds of that are going to be split between the Children's Miracle Network hospitals and Doctors Without Borders. And Children's Miracle Network is the charity that the Extra Life streams go to.
Cool. So other events happening coming up, also October 21st, which is again tomorrow, we have Ashley Star Sapphire's birthday bash. Happy birthday, Ashley. That's in Rift's End, and the community event section of the forums has all the details there. Also, a spotlight of a very special player-owned town, but a very spooky and creepy haunted house in that town with a lot of story behind that house. Min Went's haunted house is available for touring, and there's also an audio component of that tour too. Yeah, cool. So you can wear the headphones and listen in to the tour as it guides you through this haunted house. And we put a spotlight out last Wednesday. It's included in the weekly update as well, to kind of give you a little bit of story and background of this haunted house and what Min Went Player-Owned Town is all about. Now, that leads into the contest, the Halloween decorating contest. There's a two-parter, still going on, and we've actually extended it another week to Halloween, October 31st. So we're ended on Halloween, very appropriate, and then that following Friday, we will reveal the winners on that community live stream. The reason we extended it a week was because of the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, so the craftable jack-o'-lantern and the previous year's jack-o'-lanterns had an issue with them that we thought we had fixed, but we unfortunately hadn't fixed, where they can't be placed outside. So because of that bug, which isn't going to be fixed till our release goes live next week, we decided to extend the contest. So those of you who want to use those jack-o'-lanterns are able to use them for your contest.
Yeah, so there's already a lot of submissions that have been coming into the submission thread on the forums. The main announcement, which once again is in the weekly update. Everything is always in the weekly update. We make it so easy for you guys. Just click on the contest. You can see where to submit your entry. And if you don't have a property or a home to decorate, that's okay, because there's two parts to this.
Yeah.
You can enter into both. You can enter in the decorating of your property, or you can just, I always say cosplay, but it's costume contest part. Yeah. So you can dress up in something spooky, creepy, that sort of thing. And we've seen some, with the scythe, that's a nice component there for it. So I should dress up in the game like that. I'll show up to the events this weekend in something interesting. So there's a lot going on for all of you guys there, and I think that concludes our community news segment. I know we went into a little bit of your other stuff there, but...
Yeah, and so let's see, I got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I'll try and keep it short so Hutch can come on and show you the amazing stuff he's been working on. Let's see, so SodaCon happened last weekend, and it was incredible. So this was our first, so we've actually had two SodaCons. The first one was in Baltimore last year, but this was our first SodaCon here in Austin, and it was amazing. We had a lot of fun. We had a bunch of panels, and what was really great about it was because it was in Austin, the entire team was able to participate, and the entire team was able to give panels. We had 2 days of panels. And it was so usually at these things, it's just me and Richard because that's kind of the only we can only afford to send so many people to events like Dragon Con or GDC or things like that. But because it was here in Austin, the entire team got to go. The entire team got to give panels. So the actual world builders got to give panels about world building. The story guys got to give panels about story. The QA team got to give panels about QA.
We even talked about astronomy for a
Yeah.
while there, and
Yeah.
some really cool stuff with that.
And it was really just really 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 incredible, and just reinforced what an incredible community, because the community organized and ran this whole thing, and they did an amazing job economically, because one of their goals for the con was that they were going to do a really good job economically and give money back to the project, and they did. So between the funds raised for the con and a drawing that they did during the con, they were able to, and after all expenses were paid for the hotel and catering and all that stuff, they managed to send back $900 to the project. So it was amazing. It was really, 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 really great. And I can't wait for next year. It's going to be a yearly thing, and we're going to be posting an update in the weekly update today. But it was really, 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 really an amazing time. Loved getting to participate, getting to meet there were some community members that I had met before, but I got to meet a lot of new community members as well. And
yeah, quite a few new ones. And
yeah.
We had several take photos. So if you happen to have been to SodaCon, there is a forum thread with the community posting their own photos and even videos, I hear, at some point. So we'll be watching that and sharing more of those. But yeah, the weekly update has some.
Yeah. Let's see. We had our release 46 telethon right before SodaCon, literally the day before SodaCon started, and it was incredibly successful. So we moved to a monthly format for our telethons, and we were a little nervous to see how that's going to go. So far, it's been incredibly successful. Both from the amount of interaction we're getting with you guys, doing 4 hours every month, so we get to spend a lot more time answering questions every month. And from the amount of funds raised, it's great. I mean, we raised $80,000. I really think it was because you guys really wanted that nightmare mount. And what was amazing was you guys organized ahead of time, and you set that goal that you really wanted to reach $80,000 so you could get the nightmare mount. Okay, man, I have to stop now because I keep seeing everyone asking about my wrist. Okay, so this is a handmade bracelet that my sister-in-law gave me it's an artist in Lafayette, Louisiana, who makes metal and leather works. So it's copper and leather. So there you go. All right, now you guys can stop talking about my wrist. All right. Thank you for another amazing telethon. It was fantastic. And speaking of the telethon, we answered as many questions as we could. And then afterwards, yesterday, I managed to finish off with some help from Chris and B and other team members, managed to answer all the missing questions that we didn't get to in the telethon, as we do every time. And those are now posted in the forum. So if you didn't get your question answered, then that's now answered and posted in the forums. And but we just finished. Feels like we just finished 46, and now we're doing 47. So 47 is coming next week. It's already on QA. So thank you everybody who's jumped on QA and already started testing. You can get a sneak peek to see what's going to be coming in next release. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming in next release. So we've got 3 new scenes. We've been doing a ton of polish on the story. There's a bunch of new side quests coming in, so it's really, really getting fleshed out as you move through the story. There's lots of little interesting little side quests you can take now. We're just going to continue adding those as well. We've done a ton of optimizations on load times. Our first goal was to try and get load times around 30 seconds. We still had some outliers of scenes that were a little bit above 30 seconds, maybe even some that were still around 40. Now we've got everything 30 or below. And our goal is to get down to 15. And so we've got a bunch of scenes now down to 15 because we did a major optimization to AI this time around. So we're getting closer to the goal. So it's amazing. And we've started adding some unique components. So there's elven bowstrings and elven hilts. So if you salvage some elven bows and elven swords, you can get these unique components. And the what we've done to support that, we've increased the rate that you get patterns out of salvage. So that's kind of a synergistic effect there. And there's going to be some new artifacts as well. So that's just a sample, and plus some holiday content and telethon content and seed and best content. There's a bunch of new stuff coming in. So, but for me, one of the most exciting ones was upping the percent chance that you're going to get patterns out of salvage, because one of the things we saw was that we looked at the data and we wanted patterns to be rare, but they we went a little too far. They are incredibly rare. Like no one's really doing salvage because it's just the amount of the amount of gear that you have to get a pattern out of them just wasn't worth it. So we've upped that percent. We're going to see if that percent is enough. If it's not, once we look at the data, we'll up it again. But it's going to get better. Let's see. Soda map. Oh, huge announcement we made this week as well. So Soda map is now an official part of the project. We've been in discussions with Jacob White, and we have acquired Soda map. It is now part of the project. We will be incorporating it, optimizing it, and adding features to it now as an official feature of Shroud of the Avatar. So thank you, Jacob. Thank you, community, everyone who worked on the project with him. It is a great application. It makes playing the game better.
Well, people want to know where they need to go next, and so having a map in the game and having maps, having a tool that the community participated in creating, it started in creating in the term of Jacob creating this, and then the community elsewhere contributing, and some of that, I think, is, as I understand it, when we get it all finalized here, integrated and set up, possible opportunities for the community to still be involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So just like we've done crowdsourcing in the past, anyone who's contributed to making maps or assisting with that in the past, we're going to open that back up again. And we're actually going to offer bounties for that, like we've done in the past with other crowdsourcing stuff, like we've done for music and art and things like that. So stay tuned for more information about that.
I think I actually am tasked with that announcement. So soon.
Yeah. So it's gonna be great. So we're really it's going to run much better. We're going to be moving it to an Amazon Web Services instance, so it's going to load much faster than it has. And that's just in phase 1. In phase 2, we'll be doing further optimizations. That's not going to be till the beginning of next year. But in the beginning of next year, we'll be optimizing it further, and we'll be doing caching a lot of that data locally. In fact, in offline mode, it'll all be cached locally, so it can run in offline.
So this is a month-long, like this can be for the foreseeable future that we're going to be improving this, making it better.
Yeah, I mean it's a 6-month long. So process, but but you can read it all about it in the post and look at the different phases. All right, just a couple more things to mention. Right now we have a couple of bonuses running. So Cyber Monday, running through Cyber Monday, which is November 27th. Any purchase you make, you'll get a bonus of crowns. You can read about that on the website. And this weekend, our sale is all about the trees, because we put the Reaper in this release, the tree creature, which we affectionately called the Treeker for a while. So, but no, it's called the Reaper. So in honor of that, all the trees and the bushes and the cacti, all the plants, all the things that the Reaper protects, those are all on sale this weekend.
Including the Make a Difference.
Yeah, all the autism awareness tree stuff too. So that's all on sale this weekend. And so and I see some people mentioning we've been addressing load times, but they're talking about hitching and other performance stuff. So as soon as we get the load times down, that's our next priority, is to get client frame rate and hitching. So we're gonna get it to it, but first we're getting our load times down, and then we'll get to hitching. Although some of the optimizations we've made to AI this release should help with some of the hitching issues. Not all of them, but some of them. So
we have another community question here from Chris Pallid.
Yeah.
Does your salvage skill make a difference in pattern drop numbers?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. So the higher your salvage skill, the higher percent. And so the percentage change that we made this release affects both. It changed the percentage rate across the board at lower levels and at higher levels. Okay. All right. I'll go get Hutch.
Yes, awesome.
All right.
Thank you. All right, how about we give away one of those prizes? We have the Ornate Prison Cage, the Viking Merchant Outfit, the Day of the Dead Mask 6-pack, and the 2017 Spooky Decoration Repack. That's the Twitter one. So if you're on Twitter and you're just joining us, welcome. This is our Friday community live stream. We'd like to give away prizes throughout these events. And we have this special repack, which is a bunch of items, 2017 year themed, that if you're on Twitter, hashtag LBSOTA for Lord Bray Shroud of the Avatar, and or Shroud at Shroud of Avatar, just mention the live stream, something with it. Say something like, Hutch is awesome, he's amazing. Hey Hutch, how you doing?
Hey,
something like that.
Again.
And we'll give away to one lucky winner who does that at the end of the live stream. But for now, we have the Ornate Prison Cage Viking Merchant Outfit and Day of the Dead Mask 6-pack we want to give away. Which one do you think is a good start?
What are our two choices?
3 choices. Ornate Prison Cage Viking Merchant Outfit. I like the Viking Merchant Outfit, partly because anybody can wear it. It's really cool. And the Day of the Dead Masks, which are a little creepy.
Well,
but
let's go with what you want.
Viking Merchant Outfit. So if you want to win that, let's do exclamation outfit. No. Hold on a second. That's lame. Exclamation Viking. There we go. All right, exclamation Viking. You can be on Discord and Twitch. We select randomly between them for a chance to win that Viking Merchant Outfit. If you want to know what any of these look like and what we're talking about, what the heck is a Viking Merchant Outfit, you can go on the add-on store on the front page of the website and find it in there. I think that one is one of the newer items, so that's on the front page right now, I believe. Now, you've dealt with and decorated and worked with a lot of these items, at least I think the prison cage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that one, yeah, I'm pretty sure that one, I don't know about these other two, but this one that we're going to give away a little bit, this is the ornate version, this ornate prison cage, which is available on the store, but a lot of these items are...
And it has a glowing magic
purple
sigil on the front of it.
Yeah, it's really cool. But there's what I wanted to say is that a lot of these items there's craftable versions in the game.
Yeah, for most things we try and make a craftable version. It's reserving the more ornate versions or more unique looking versions for the add-on store.
Yeah. So if you don't
functionally they're the same. They just
well, if I'm going to be in a prison cage, I want it to look nice. You know? I mean, it's just one of those things.
Right,
so
appearances count.
Exactly. So anyway, if you don't get a chance to win one of these today, find a vendor in the game, somebody's selling it somewhere, ask in the forums, I really want a prison cage. Or one of these other items. I'm fixated on the prison cage suddenly. All right, so why don't we give that a couple of minutes as we roll over to Unity and show you guys something very special. Spoiler alert, by the way. Major spoiler alert.
Yeah, major spoiler alert.
Why don't you explain why it's a spoiler alert?
Well, what I'm going to show today is our latest progress, which we're very nearly complete, with the Oracle Temple finale room. I'm not going to be showing any conversation or any story elements or anything like that. I'm just going to be showing the visual aspect of the completed Oracle Temple room. This is something that has been a very, very long time in the making, and I'll kind of get into a little bit of the history of that, um, if which hopefully you guys will find interesting. But yeah, major spoilers. If you don't want to see what the end climactic encounter with the Oracle looks like, then there's your fair warning.
All right, so I think we have it ready to go. We're going to, I actually was going to add another scene button here on our system to allow you guys to more smoothly see the transition from our full screen to Unity. Didn't get a chance quite to do that, so we're just going to do kind of a manual little shrink down here, which is once again the wrong thing.
Yeah,
I always
so
do the frame.
before we actually go into the
Oh, yeah.
final room, I want to sort of talk a little bit about how we got to where we are, and it's
Oh, sure, yeah, yeah.
it's
So we won't show this just
we won't
yet.
show that
Okay.
quite yet, but there's
Okay.
other things I can show.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to show, and most of this has already been seen. It's concept art, shots from updates, and things like that. I just want to sort of talk about, how we ended up where we are now with the Oracle Temple and all the things that were made all along the way.
So some of these things that you're going to show now have been shown at some
Oh,
point
yeah.
in the past.
In the game for years, in some cases, things like the Oracle Watchers and things like that. But,
Okay.
I want to talk about the visual development of the Oracle Temple, and as part of doing that, I want to sort of go back and do a little history.
Oh, great. Okay, so we have
before we unveil it at the end. So
we have screenshots here then.
we do.
And is there an order to these before I put them up here on the screen so everybody can see them?
Well, they're ordered by number.
So you ordered it.
we'll
Okay, that's perfect. That'll make it easy. Okay.
Yeah. So I think if we just did this, it'll just go through in sequence.
Okay, perfect. So let's start with the first one, and then I will get that up on the screen so everybody can see. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you guys have seen. Yeah, these are really neat. Okay. I'm like in awe of some of these already, and nobody can see what we're talking about. All right. Before I reveal this, I like to the suspense is incredible. We're about to show screenshots, and I'm like, but wait, there's prizes once again. Let's give away that prize. We've got the let's see here. Let me pull up my app here. We've got the Viking Merchant outfit, and we've got 1 second here. 5 seconds to get in on the Viking Merchant outfit. Exclamation Viking! Exclamation Viking! All right, we got a winner. That's it, folks. It goes to Yordic Myers. Yordic Myers, congrats on winning that. Please message me. It looks like you're on Discord. Please message me, Barrick, your account name and what you won so that we can award that to you. And if you've been following the live streams every week, I always say, well, I'm not going to be able to award these until Monday or Tuesday or something like that. Well, guess what? I've sped up that process a little bit, and it looks like there's a good chance I will be able to award it shortly after this live stream. So you'll hopefully get it this weekend. All right, let's get that screenshot up here. And we just got a screen capture. And there it is. All right, let me expand the window. And I will bring our cells up to the front. Just like, oh God, we're back. Look at that. Okay, let me shrink us down. No, that's that screen again. I always do that every time. This is why we need that extra button I was talking about. Don't worry. We will improve that process. I think this is more fun.
Nobody cares about what's going on over here. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like, what is this over here? I think this is as large as we can make it.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of these are just going to be pieces of concept art that were made, and a lot of work in progress shots that have been taken over the years. As we're getting close to the release of R47, one of our major goals for R47 was to complete the Oracle Temple room, and that involved tying up some of the loose ends that were existing, a lot of visual effects, a lot of room props, and animations that were missing. And so as we started preparing for this release, I started thinking back and looking back at sort of how we got here, and realizing that this scene, the Oracle Temple scene, probably more than any other in the game, uh, has involved the contributions of virtually everybody on the team, everyone doing their part. Um, because it's not just that one temple room that we're talking about, it's all the other things that sort of lead into it. The temple room itself did require, did take a lot of different individuals to contribute to it, to complete it.
So is it because this is a little side tangent, I suppose, but I'm curious on the design of it, and as we'll see it later, the are we talking the size as the time being considered, or just
No, it's
all
actually
details?
it's actually a very small room. It's a
Huh.
very it was always intended to be an intimate encounter with the Oracle herself, a private audience. Um, we didn't so it had to be its own scene instance, because it's just you and the Oracle at the end. Um, and so the room itself is well, it's actually the exact same size as what you would expect the interior to be based on the exterior of that temple building that you can see in central Brittany. Um, so it's a small space, but the the level of finish on it and the level of interest in it is right up there with any of the other scenes that we've done. There's a lot of really cool things in there that required a lot of different people to help make.
Very cool. By the way, everybody, if you have a question for Hutch here on what we're walking you through, then please message. You can post it in Twitch or Shroud of the Avatar's Discord channel, and we'll try to get to that. I'm manually monitoring, so I may miss it. We're not as aggressive on the questions here as we usually are on the telethons, so apologies if we miss it. You can always message Hutch in the forums after the live stream if you didn't get your question answered. He's popping in there often for posting things.
All right, so okay, so you know, like like anything else, something like this always just starts with an idea, and the idea, of course, started with Lord British himself, creating this world and these characters and this sort of omniscient oracle figure, who is keeping tabs on what everybody in New Britannia is
So
doing,
watching everybody.
watching everyone, through the eyes, her eyes on the ground are the little watchers, the little spider creatures and little fly creatures that you're going to see in the game, uh, in cities and in crossroads and
So
all throughout.
they're everywhere.
They're watching you. Yeah. So it's a little creepy. It's a little Big Brother, um, but that's part of what the Oracle is. It's meant to be sort of uh, and you're supposed to have a feeling of unease, like you're being watched, because you are. Um, so it started with the idea, and the idea of was Richard's idea. Um, Over time, he developed, all the lore that goes into the the Oracle herself, the minions, the little Oracle Watchers.
Well, we're talking about the watchers and menus and things. I don't know actually what the screenshot is that's coming up next here, but do we have
Yeah.
others to flip
Yeah,
to?
we do. So this is what you see on the screen here is some very early visual development that was done by our concept artist Stephen Dinelli. And this was him working with Richard to develop the sort of the initial appearance of the Oracle. Heavily influenced probably by Maria, the Metropolis robot the robot in
Yeah.
Metropolis. Unquestionably influenced by that. But our very first glimpse of anything related to the Oracle in the game, now this is going way, way back. This is December of 2013.
This is the original screenshot.
Yes, it
One
is,
of the very first.
from what the game looked like back in 2013.
Okay, so just for context here,
Yeah.
everybody. Some of these, because we're going through the history here of the Oracle, this screenshot is over 4 years old, so this is not current.
Yes, right. That's right. So we'll get there. We'll get there. But this what you see here, this Oracle statue head relic, was actually one of the first, if not the first, item in this family of things related to the Oracle in Shroud of the Avatar. This was a statue prop that was made by a former team member named Jay Reichman, and again, this was 4 years ago. The next things that we started working on were the Oracle Watchers. This again is a piece of concept art by Stephen Donnelly. These things were brought into the game shortly after that first Oracle statue head was made. They were brought into the game, I think in February of 2013, so just a couple months later after that first teaser that you got with the Oracle statue head. They were created by our character artist, Isaac Oster, who has moved on to a different company, but also Kevin Wells, our very own Kevin Wells, who is still here and still cranking out great art. He made the Oracle Fly while Isaac made the Oracle Spider. And these things are kind of the first indicator. These are the kind of the first mechanical things you encounter in Shroud of the Avatar, and they sort of were one of the initial indicators that there's something different about New Britannia. It's and it's a mystery that would be unfolding over time. Now they were initially brought into the game, I think, probably in release 3. That's how back.
3, wow.
That's
Yep,
about
very beginning.
how far back we're talking. A little bit later, probably 5 months after that, we started working on some of the other things, and our production method isn't that we, just tackle one thing and just do it all at once. We have to, think about when is the right time to work on something, and so getting the Oracle Watchers in the game was a good first step in getting something unique into the game that was uniquely Shroud of the Avatar, and sort of helped establish, create a benchmark for what further development is going to be. A few months later, we started working on some of the Oracle architecture. Now these are all items of concept art that Stephen came up with working with Richard.
No, this I see here labeled the ruins and the shrine is very well known by the community. Many of the community members that have played through the story have come across these buildings, or maybe you call them monuments, or I don't know if it's monuments, but buildings. The shrine is well known and has been included in several of the trailers that the community has created. So it's definitely one that's a distinctive building.
Yeah, you're going to see this throughout the lands of New Britannia as we continue to expand into other areas past Novia and Hidden Vale. But you're going to find these in major cities and also some smaller remote towns. And they were originally created as almost like confessional chambers.
Okay, maybe we can zoom in on that.
Zoom in on this one.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Give them a little bit of
mouse wheel doesn't work.
Yeah, there we go. So hopefully you guys can see that.
So this is initial concept art of what the interior would look like, and you'll get your first sort of look at what the Oracle in the confirmatory was meant to look like. It was supposed to be basically just her face. We reserved the full body version in all of its glory for the finale in the temple.
Well, I see also, even right there, I see a watcher watching whoever enters the.
There is a watcher.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, there's one climbing out of here. So you can see how Stephen, when he was developing these items, he thought about not only what they would look like, but how they work together, and the fact that they belong together. And so it became really important for us to make sure that, what we did looked like it existed in the same family of objects and that it all belonged together. Um, and so here's a shot of the interior again. Uh, oh, in about, let me see if I can find it here. Um, with release 8, now we're talking about July of 2014.
We're getting up there, and,
Yeah.
and right now we're in what release?
This won't
40,
take,
46. So don't
worry, this isn't going to take all.
We're not
all
going
day.
to 8 to 9 all the way to 46. Okay.
Yeah. But in release 8, we started development on the architecture. We already had sort of a glimpse of what the Oracle might look like in the game through that statue head, and we had the Watchers, and they were already walking around the game, and people had been experiencing them for a few releases now. We got to the point where we needed to introduce the Oracle herself in the context of the Oracle Confirmatory, which is the small version. And again, it was originally called the Oracle Affirmation Shrine, but it became known as the Oracle Confirmatory later. This is what you'll see in the game. This was the first model that we made for the Oracle Confirmatory. This is Bob Cooksey working on it, and I did a little bit of work on some other aspects of it as well. So it was kind of a collaboration, but this is the building that we made based off of Stephen Tonelli's artwork.
Yeah, somebody asked, it's Amberine. Amberine asks, is that Dinelli's work? This looks like Dinelli's work. Hi, Amberine, how are you doing?
Yes, it is. This is Stephen Dinelli's concept art, and you're going to see a lot of that through here.
Did I say Danielle? Did I say it wrong?
Dinelli.
Dinelli?
Stephen
Okay.
Dinelli. Yeah.
Okay. I tend to murder people's names.
So that's the 3D asset that we initially made. The first place that we put it was in Arteris, and it stands there
To this day.
Still to this day. Yep, it's still there.
So you have a little bit more. Let's give away another prize just to keep that going.
Good idea.
We got 2 more. We'll give away 1 right now and then 1 at the end. And don't forget, we got the Twitter prize, 2017 Spooky Decoration Repack. Just tweet out something about the game at Shroud of Avatar, because it's not in the at part because Twitter has a character limit, and or hashtag LBSOTA. And do that on a weekly basis, or do that whenever you have something to share, like a cool screenshot of your adventures in the game, because I watch that. I'm the community manager here, and I watch their social channels for any cool stuff that you guys are putting out. We'll retweet it perhaps. So always have to do that. All right, we have the Ornate Prison Cage and the Day of the Dead Mask 6-pack. Let's give away that Day of the Dead Mask 6-pack. So if you want to win that, whether you're on Discord or Twitch, type !mask. And we'll give that a few minutes, and then we'll pick one winner.
All right, sounds good. So the next thing that needed to be done is, now that we had the structure for the Oracle, we needed to actually create an NPC that you could interact with inside the Oracle Temple. So our first pass, the first version of the Oracle in the Confirmatory came with release 10 in 2014. So September of 2014. So 3 years ago, almost.
So this Oracle has been. We didn't just design it in 3 releases and then we're done.
No, it's been there.
Yeah.
A sequence of objects and a sequence of development events that led to where we are. And the initial idea for the Oracle herself in the Confirmatory was kind of like a screen of pins, and we called it a pin plate.
We don't have a screenshot of that, do we?
I couldn't find one. The only one I could find was very old, and it didn't really show it the way I wanted to show it. I'll try and locate another one. But it was envisioned as like a mechanical construct of primitive pegs that would sort of extend and retract to create the face of the Oracle when you sat down. Some of our long-term players may remember that. It became clear pretty soon after that it really just wasn't, well, it wasn't that engaging. You know, it felt too impersonal, and it didn't really succeed at sort of eliciting an emotional response from the player. It was just kind of like looking at a painting,
Oh.
right?
Well, you know, sometimes I like doing that. Stare at it for like days on end. Is this our last screenshot?
Is what?
Is it the
No,
last
no,
screenshot?
no, no, no.
Oh, you have more.
So, but yeah, there's more.
Okay.
So we decided that we were going to change the look of the
Ooh, wow.
oracle to the automaton face. Now, because it would feel more personal, and you'd be able to relate to it a little bit better, and it would also make it easier to animate. The pin plate proved to be really restrictive for animation, and that was kind of the source of our feeling that it just wasn't doing the job that we wanted it to do. So we started thinking, Richard started thinking about other approaches, and he remembered that we had done some concept art. This is a piece of Scott Jones concept art from long, long ago, in a version of Shroud of the Avatar that wasn't Shroud of the Avatar yet. It was a sort of a prototype game. I think this is the ultimate RPG phase of our game development. But it was envisioned as sort of the great and powerful Oz, or the Oz from the stage play Wicked,
Well,
which looks like that.
you're actually, yeah, that's creepy. Wow. So these are, actually, I remember that. These are quite appropriate to what we're giving away right now, the Day of the Dead masks. Well, sort of, I guess. Their masks or their faces. Minor association, I suppose.
It's a face.
It's a face. There we go. So the Day of the Dead mask six pack we're giving away right now, and we have a winner. Congrats to, interestingly, Robin Hood. Robin with a Y. Why Robin Hood? I don't know. Joke. Everybody can laugh at that one if they want or not. Robin Hood, congrats on winning that Day of the Dead 6-pack. And we have one more prize we'll give away, plus the Twitter prize, at the end of the live stream here.
Great. So congratulations on that. So back to our new approach to what the Oracle was going to look like. We decided that she was going to look like basically herself, but a smaller version of herself in the Oracle confirmatories. Now the Oracle, you'll recognize a lot of design influences with this.
Isn't that let me guess, I haven't seen this, so, well, let's fun trivia for the community here on Discord and Twitch. What is this? I assume they can guess theoretically where this photo comes from. Right?
Yeah, everybody knows where this comes from.
Am I the only one who's like not 100% sure?
Right.
Where does it come from, everybody?
So this is the Maschinenmensch from Fritz Lang's film Metropolis.
Oh, actually, I was wrong. I was going to guess Doctor Who.
Oh.
The original Doctor. Okay.
Doctor Who.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's Star-Lord. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Maria from Metropolis, which was a very early film and sort of a benchmark film. But you'll notice a lot of design influence from Maria to our Oracle, and those are deliberate. So when it came time to start building the Oracle, it's sort of to expedite. No, and here's our Oracle. This is another Stephen Dinelli concept, very early.
And this we've promoted recently on some of the weekly updates.
And so you can see here that she has, countless wires and inputs and things like that are literally enslaving her to her throne, to her chair. These cables are essentially the data feeds from throughout New Britannia.
Of the Watchers and everything?
Yeah, exactly. She's keeping track of everything.
I wonder what her
She knows.
bandwidth is there.
That's a good question. We may never know. So the next, the next thing that we had to do was start building it. So, to expedite the production of the Oracle, I bought a full body model of uh, of, of a robot that resembled the Metropolis robot Maria. And I proceeded to, make some revisions to it, particularly in areas of the face. This is very, very early work in progress stuff. This is the initial um, result of that work. But our Oracle evolved beyond this in recent months, and that's what we'll get to shortly. We're getting close, very close. So the next thing that we needed to do, and we weren't really time, it wasn't really time at this stage to create the Oracle encounter because, by this time we're talking, this is 2015, when Bob Cooksey started making the Oracle Temple structure. We didn't get this building into the game until maybe about a year later than that. But we really didn't have a need to get to the interior of it until a year later than that. It wasn't until this year, 2017, that we really had to get to the point where we needed to have the interior of the structure completed so that we could, create the finale of the game with the audience with the Oracle.
So what before that? What was there? Like, could anyone even visit the chamber?
They could see the exterior of it. The exterior was present in Brittany, but you could never get into it. There was never any way to enter into the building. That became so it was sealed. And as time went on, we got to the point in the story where we were able to finish it. And so the next series of things that we did is we started going back to the original concept art. Here's a piece of beautiful concept art that was made to show some of the details of the Oracle Temple interior. So we made sure to include this in the revision to the interior. We also had these monitors that serve as the visual displays that the Oracle is keeping track of.
So this is kind of one of those almost steampunky displays.
That's right. Yeah, we've always wanted to go with sort of a antique or old-fashioned technology. A lot of clockwork gears, a lot of brass and gold type of materials and things like that to make it feel a little anachronistic for it's not your standard medieval fantasy game, right?
We have a question here from Polly Walnuts. What about the other sealed building across from the Oracle? I don't know what.
So that is I think that's either a coliseum or a theater.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself.
That has not.
It's not associated here.
No, it's not associated with the Oracle, but that is also something that doesn't have an interior currently and will eventually, hopefully, be a place that you can get to for performances and other types of things like that. But that is that's in the future.
Okay, very cool.
So this is what the concept of the Oracle Temple interior looked like finished. Now this incorporates all the different aspects that we've talked about: the spiders, the Oracle herself, the monitors, the room details, basically.
I have one question here.
Yes.
I'm putting you on the spot, Hutch. The monitors behind her, why are they behind her? Because she can't see them. They're monitors.
So that we can see them. So you'll see in when we get to the room itself in just a minute, you'll see that these monitors are animated. They don't just stay static like that. They move around.
Okay, they swing around and everything. Oh, that's
They
cool.
do.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, you can only watch so many TVs at one time, right? So,
Sure.
so some of them have to be behind while others kind of come to the forefront. You know, we may not literally see them swing around in front, but that's the suggestion that that is how they function. Um, so once the model was complete, or once the proxy model was complete, I gave it to Fletcher to finish, and he's the guy who created uh, the Oracle in her throne with the cables all over her. He also created a great support structure above. He created the monitors. Once those things were complete, it got handed over to Matt Schmitz, who's our animator, and he brought it all to life with motion.
We have a comment from Akondas, I think is roughly how I pronounce that. Sorry that I murdered your name there. The Oracle is a prisoner, it looks like.
Well, she definitely doesn't look like she can go anywhere. And it seems like she's been there for a long, long time, which is part of the mystery of New Britannia. But yeah, you're right. She's not going to get up and go anywhere out of that chair. She's over time, new feeds have been plugged in, and you could say that she's a prisoner there.
An interesting question, I suppose. Yeah.
Once the animation was done, the next thing we had to do was create the visual effects for those screens. Now that's where Damon Waldrop comes into the picture, and he's our lead visual effects artist.
Okay.
And what he did, I told him that I wanted to make sure that we showed sort of a chronology of all the scenes that you had visited throughout your travels in New Britannia, so that you know where you start with. You see her in the Isle of Storms from the very first scene, and you'll see her at the end, and there's a long string of adventures that you go throughout the game. And I wanted the images on the screens to be recognizable locations, to sort of be a review of how far you've come.
Yeah,
right?
That's neat.
So he did that, and he created these great slide visual feeds, and then I think it's probably time for us to show it. So I'm going to give what do you
sure.
want to do?
So we're done with the screenshots, and you're going to show the big reveal of it.
We'll
for
show
those
it.
who haven't seen it.
We'll show it in the game. Yep.
Okay, in the game. All right. So let's give away that last prize here. We'll let that run, and then we'll award the winner at the very end of the live stream. I think we're at the ornate prison cage. My favorite. I said the Viking merchant outfit was my favorite before, but now I think I've switched to this prison cage because it looks so darn cool. So if you want to win the ornate prison cage, type !prison. And since we're kind of on that theme, I suppose, with the comment of the Oracle as a prisoner, it looks like, we'll type !prison if you want to win it, both on Discord and Twitch. And we'll give that until the end here as we show spoiler alert, spoiler alert, 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 spoiler alert. If you're just joining us here, we're giving away prizes, but we're also showing some really awesome history leading up to the end of the story for the game.
Right, the finale of the game.
Finale of the game.
The finale of the story element of the game.
Okay. Yeah, I should be clear there that it's the finale of the story, not the finale of the game. So yeah. So if you don't want to know it, you can turn off the live stream right now. We won't be sad. That's totally understandable because we are giving away a little bit of some of what you will see as you adventure through this. So let's go to...
Okay, so next.
I think you just bring up Unity and it should pop up to the screen. There it is. And, we got to... can you... Here, let me do this real quick. Because we're doubling up.
Technical.
Oh, everything's perfect.
Get our IT.
It's all perfect.
Get our IT department.
Where is our... Do we have an IT department? There we go. Okay, so let me do a little tweaking to this window so everybody can see it. And I believe we are good to go.
All right, so here we go. The last thing that had to be done was to add some of the Oracle bugs in there. And Travis Koleski, our world builder, senior world builder, went in there and did that for us. And so you grab the keyboard here. And so here we are. Oh, it looks like I'm being scanned by one of those
Already, you just
Oracle
got in.
watchers.
Wow.
There it is.
There
So
it is.
there they
Wow,
are.
there's the monitors and
There's
everything.
the monitors.
Yeah.
And they're moving around. And so here you can see how it all came together. The finished model of the Oracle herself, the animations of her twitching in her chair, almost like she's got some.
Well, if I was sitting in a chair for decades or however long it's been, I'd be twitching too.
But what Matt really captured here was, she's getting electrical input constantly, and it's almost like surges of information.
Oh yeah, overload.
And the monitors come down to show her things that are going on. And we can watch a couple of them. Now you can see Sequana's statue there. So again, you're going to get sort of a little tour of your where you've been in Novia. Got the watchers in here who never rest. They're always watching.
So these watchers, they'll visit her, and then leave and go somewhere into one of the scenes she's watching, or are they always like these two here that we're seeing? They're always in the chamber, and then the ones outside are always outside.
Well, in this case, these are the ones that
Kind of
are always in the chamber.
hanging around the
I
queen bee,
suppose
so to speak.
I suppose you could suggest that they maybe they go out, but I kind of like the idea that these are almost like the queen's attendants. These are the ones that are in the Oracle Temple because even still they're doing their job. So there it is. You can see the great work that so many different people have done, from our animators to our 3D modelers to visual effects to world building.
Yeah, it's really
It's
impressive.
really. I really do feel like this scene was the greatest team effort that we've had in the game. Because it required so many different people for it to come together. Story people, conversation, QA to make sure it's all working the way it should.
Yeah.
The tech team who gave us all the shaders and lighting support and AI that needed to be present. If we go and start speaking with her, we'll get to our conversation camera. And so this is how you'll encounter. And we wanted this camera angle to be low, as if you were seeing it from the watcher's eye view.
Yeah.
And you might even get a watcher coming into your field of vision here, if we wait long enough. But this is how you will reach the end of your story.
A long journey through New Britannia and all of the things you've experienced and can see hints of on the monitors here. And really, even though it's, like you said just a minute ago, this is the climax, the end of the story currently for the game, there's much more to explore throughout the game. After you've been in this chamber, you can go back out and hey, Sarah. So we're
crashing the street.
We're crashing the party here.
I love this scene. I think this is probably one of the best things we have in the game. It's just like I think people are going to be taking screenshots of this and putting it all over the internet to be like, look at this amazing game.
Yeah, we want to see your screenshots because we want to see who got to this point, who completed the story, and what your story was based on what you experienced leading up to this moment.
Yeah, and I'm seeing on the Twitch, I'm seeing on the comment stream here, I did misspeak a little bit. It's not the end of the story. It's the end of the story in episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah, that's how I was, yep. So very cool. And thank you, Sarah, for stopping in. Is there anything else you wanted to say to the community?
No, bye everyone.
Have a good weekend, everybody. All right, so we have the
photobombed.
Yeah, we always have special guests on the live stream, and maybe next week and then the weeks ahead, we'll bring on other devs to reflect back to the Oracle Chamber, and they'll talk about their experience in designing, because we just had Hutch here today, and like you had mentioned, Hutch, there's so many that had a chance to work on this scene and leading up to what we're showing right now, that there's more stories to tell.
So we're a pretty small team, but in all about 15, at least 15 different individuals contributed to
half of our
the process of leading up to this.
Yeah. And as I understand it, what we showed today, you're going to write a little bit for the community.
That's true. Yeah, I'm going to go in. I'm going to make a post. I hope to get that, posted, forum post.
Sometime next week. Maybe?
Probably on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, early next week. That sort of maybe goes into a little bit of additional detail for those of you that might be interested in what we talked about here.
Well,
today.
what we'll do then for you community is we'll normally have this live stream on YouTube, usually posted on Monday, and we'll make a special article announcement on probably the front page of the website, absolutely in the forums, that will have the written story of the written part of all of this to what Hutch just has mentioned, write some of the background of this Oracle Chamber and the history leading up to it for you guys. And then we'll include this live stream recording into that, so you kind of get an all-encompassing, I want to watch this live stream again and see what Hutch actually talked about based on what you read. All right, so let's give away, I guess, the last of the prizes. We have the Twitter prize. You guys literally have like 20 seconds to tweet out real quick at Shroud of Avatar or LBSOTA hashtag if you want a chance to win that repack, 2017 Spooky Decoration repack. Last time we gave away the wearable one. We didn't give away the decoration one yet, at least not on a non-telethon. So I thought to change it up a little bit. So this one's for you, all you who have a home or want to get a home and decorate it in a little bit of a spooky theme. That's the Twitter prize. But we have going right now the ornate prison cage. I had mentioned one of those. Well, as always, I usually tend to give away a couple of something randomly at some point. Well, here it is. This is going to be 2 giveaways for the ornate prison cage. So you can literally like set up, multiple prison cages in an area and make it look like a little mini prison, I suppose. So this prison cage, the ornate prison cages, will go to, congrats to Eclipse Maiden and Yankee. Eclipse Maiden and Yankee on winning an ornate prison cage. If you're on Twitter, or excuse me, if you're on Twitch, please message Shroud of the Avatar, your account name and what you won, the ornate prison cage. And do the same if you're on Discord, message to Berek, myself, B-E-R-E-K, and what you won again, so that we can award those to you, possibly today yet. Worst case scenario, Monday when the article and the live stream goes on YouTube and all of that. So congrats to everybody. Thank you for watching.
Yep, and one final note on this. We had the volume turned down here because we're doing the stream. So
that's right.
We had the game volume turned down, but we are also making sure that the soundscape in here is equally as cool as...
Can we turn that up now for everybody?
No, it's still being worked on.
Oh, okay. So okay. I thought we had missed an opportunity here. So stay tuned. We may need another live stream just on the music. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So thank you again, Hutch, and we'll see everybody next week. Next week, again, it's going to be busy. It's going to be super, super awesome with the Release 47 going live on Thursday. We're going to have another community live stream on Friday. And this live stream, obviously, again, going out on YouTube. and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then literally the week after that, that following Friday, 2 Fridays from now, is our R47 postmortem. So here's, a notice to, as soon as you get a chance to start playing R47 next week, send us your questions. We've already announced that telethon for November 3rd, and we'll want your questions. So you go ahead and, once you get it, or if it's not a release related question, it's just a general game question, throw it in there too. Why not? Just please keep it to 3 questions max, so we can get to all your questions on that live stream. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone.